are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Well, just like that, look who's back in the mix. Straight out of New York City, it's the Red Hot Knicks. And nothing's gonna stop us from hanging a banner. Not the Hawks, Heat, or even Indiana. It's the Knicks, back on pace, back in the chase. That's right, the 8th seed in the...
Yo. I love that song. It's my favorite song, man. I almost wanted to bring it back, but I got to chill.
Yo, so you know how we started off, man. We're gonna take a little shotty shot, a little trago, like I like to call it. You know what I mean? I'm just sipping out of a red cup. You know, we had a successful season as a New York. You know what I mean? We had a successful season as a New York Knicks fan. We're gonna talk some more, but this shot right here has to go out for my Knickerbockers. And to all you weird ass fans too, I'm gonna just take a shot for some of y'all weird ass fans, and we're gonna start talking about some of the shit that y'all been saying. Y'all some weirdos out there, man. But salute.
Learn to chase down liquor with more liquor. Shout out to Prodigy. Y'all, I want to welcome everyone back to Drunk Sports Talk, New York's new #1 sports talk show. We are the voice of the streets. Allow me to reintroduce myself. It's your brother Cash. You know that man on the other side needs no introduction, and one and only Q. What's popping, my brother?
Yo. What's good, my G?
I gotta apologize to Drunk Sports Talk Nation, man, because we had a show. We dropped a show on what day was it?
Sunday night.
Sunday night. We dropped the show going over what happened in Game 7 against the Pacers in the Garden. We all know what happened, but we had a show and we talked about a bunch of cool shit. But we were using some new software and stuff like that, and there was some technical difficulties, so the show couldn't have came out. So I apologize to you, like my man Grand Pooh say. Sorry I left you. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Let's just do a quick reiteration. Not really the game. Just Knicks lose in the semis to the Indiana Pacers. Got smacked at the Garden. You know what I mean? Very disheartening. We were up 2-0 in that series, but again, the story goes as the story has gone all year. We were decimated with injuries. There was a feeling of. This is the first time me being a Knicks fan that I wasn't. It was weird, I was looking for some anger in me, because I'm so used to being like angry, you know what I'm saying, when they lose, like this one did this and that one did that, and if Patrick Ewing hits the jump and it gets the finger roll, we beat the Pacers, and if John Starks doesn't go 2 for 18, we win the championship, and if we play better defense on Reggie Miller, there's so many instances. Charles Smith misses all them layups underneath. I mean, I can go on and on.
Million scenarios.
There's a million scenarios, and there was always someone to almost point the finger at immediately after the game to show a little bit of vitriol. Even though I don't hate the Knicks, it's human nature sometimes to look for somebody to blame for shit. You know what I'm saying? At times, you know what I'm saying. But I love the Knicks, and we always forgive them, and we're always back the next season. But I say that to say this: this is the first time that I'm saying, man, I don't even feel angry, bro. I feel, I guess, proud. I feel like, wow, man, I fuck with these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, these dudes gave it their all. They put the pedal to the metal and they maxed out. There was nothing left to give. They left it all out on the court. I'm proud of these guys. I think these guys are amazing. I love the way Tibbs subbed certain guys out so they can get a standing ovation. They all deserved it. Every last one of these guys gave their heart and soul this year. We're in great hands looking towards the future. I want to shout out Leon Rose. I want to shout out Tom Thibodeau. There are people saying that he runs his players into the ground. I'm not going to go as far as saying that. We'll get into that. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into that. I want to salute Tom Thibodeau. I want to salute every last one of those guys on that roster, man. They played their fucking hearts out. And we said this a million times, but I got to say one more time. They embody what New York City is about. Not New York, the old New York, you know what I'm saying? Not the corporate white collar fucking sushi eating, Starbucks, Whole Foods, shopping, fucking
straight
yuppies.
organic.
You know what I'm saying?
All organic, vegan.
That's not that. I'm talking about the blue collar dudes that punch their time card and every day and they grind and they gotta grind to pay their rent and just hustle every day. Hard hat, lunch pail dudes, man. That's what we represent. And that's always been what the Knicks represent. Like certain teams, the Giants have always been known for their hardcore defense. You know what I'm saying? That's just what they're about. That's their brand. The New York brand has always been grimy, grinded out, hard-nosed play, and that's what this team embodies. And shout out to the Knicks. I loved it. Before we get into what the future holds, certain evaluations, looking back on this wild ride season where like you said, your moms was watching, my moms was watching, my wife, your sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody was galvanized. Everyone sat together. The most casual of casual fans were brought together. The Knicks brought the city together to watch the Knicks this year. What is your assessment on the season? How are you feeling after this, this past Sunday's Game 7?
It was definitely without a doubt, the success in our eyes as fans, right? Obviously, the players are not going to look at it that way, right? Because they failed. They didn't win no chip. That they didn't come home with everything, no ticket tape parade. Now they're just home with their families. But for us, and that's the competitive side of the nature. Us, we're just looking at a different perspective of like, yo, look how far we made it with all the obstacles that we had to face, and we still managed to go somewhere. I still think there is some key changes that definitely need to happen because you definitely saw it. In Game 7, you saw the inbounding was atrocious. There was certain there was key moments. I'm not gonna point no fingers, but there was some key moments in that Game 7 that could have definitely turned it around. And definitely, when we got it down by 7, we could have ended up being down by 5. And that would have been a game changer. But some slight mistakes. But I'm not going to be sitting here. That's not what I felt like the season was. It was just, it was a long, driven, hard working all season. The playoffs was just as hectic, and these guys gave us 125%. I don't take away anything from what they did, what they accomplished.
Yes,
I know that next year they're going to come back and definitely go further without a doubt, as long as we can remain healthy, get some more key pieces that want to play. I trust Leon Rose and what West is going to do, because I don't think Dolan's going to have any say in any of these things. I think he's already confident and he understands that whatever Leon and West are doing to build this team to get it to where they're at. 3 playoff visits out of 4 years. Shit, Knicks haven't seen that since like maybe the early 2000s, or maybe they.
It's punctuated. Good point. Three playoff, 3 out of 4 years. We wondered in the Atlanta series. We were so excited because it was such a drought. We were just, we were kind of just happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? I remember, and this is from my old heads, young heads, bear with me. I remember when the Celtics played the Pistons back in the days, and the Pistons finally eliminated the Celtics, and that's when the Celtics had Bird, McHale, Ainge, Parrish. They was just stacked. Bird, McHale, Ainge, the big 3 over there. I remember Isaiah and McHale, Kevin McHale, dapped up, right, and they asked Isaiah what McHale told Isaiah Thomas, the legendary Isaiah Thomas, one of the greatest small point guards, one of the greatest, maybe the greatest small men ever. McHale told Parrish, "Listen, you're going to the next round, right? I think they want to play the Lakers." He told Isaiah, "Don't just be happy to be there, right? You know what I'm saying? Go there to win." And that always stuck in my head. And I kind of use that in different things, but I think the first year against Atlanta, we were just happy to be there. Wow, we were back in the playoffs. It felt good. We were going nuts. We were outside the garden screaming, "Fuck Trae Young!" Trae Young could go on any team right now, and the Knicks are gonna be like, "Fuck Trae Young," because he did his dirt. I ain't gonna front. He did his dirty that playoff series. You know what I'm saying?
Word up.
And he was talking crazy, kind of a little bit like Tyrese Halliburton with that Reggie Miller shirt the other day. But we'll get into that. it felt like we were just there. Then the second year we missed the playoffs. Okay, take one step back to take, 2 steps forward or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so now what are we? It's kind of, you still iffy. Like, damn, was that a fluke? Then the third year comes. Second, get the big first round win against Cavs, punched them in the face. We lose to Miami. I thought we were better than Miami. I just think we didn't have enough experience and a little bit of injuries, but more the experience. And Tibbs got a little bit out coached. He since then has stepped his game up super crazy. But the culture was changed, right? We all know the culture was changed. Tibbs came in here. If I could say the number one thing Tibbs has done, forget about the X's and O's, because I think he's good with X's and O's. He's a defensive-minded coach. That's always, very super important on the defensive side of the ball. But he really changed the culture. And him along with, I got to give Julius Randle some credit here, man. We've been Julius Randle guys all along. Now everyone's kind of jumping on the bandwagon as of late, especially today. But we've been Julius guys all along. We said this before in the show. Julius wanted to come here. He ran towards the fire when none of you other dudes wanted to fuck with the pressure that comes along with playing basketball in the media capital of the world. And us fans, we're fucking assholes. You fucking, we'll boo you in a second. You know what I'm saying? He came here and he wanted to be a Knick. So shout out to Julius and Tibbs for turning that culture around. And I just think now that you said, like, we're finally here, we're back. Now we're a staple to me in the playoffs. Moving forward, I expect to be here now. Like back in the days, I expected the Knicks to go no less than the second or third round. You know what I'm saying? Playoffs was a foregone conclusion back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks not making the playoffs. You're like, what?
What the hell happened?
Yeah, that's not even an option. You know what I'm saying? And we got, we were spoiled, and then we went for that long drought. Other than 2013 and a couple of years here and there, but I feel we're back, and I'm confident, like you said. Shout out to all those guys, and shout out to Dolan, man, for because the knock on James Dolan was he meddles, he's interfering. The knock on him was never he don't want to spend the money, because let's not, James Dolan has he made some mistakes? Yes, he has. But shout out to him, because he was never scared to cut the check, ever. We had the largest payroll, even though we were the worst team in the league, and we was kind of a laughing stock, but he was just cutting the check for the wrong things. You know what I mean? So shout out to Dolan. He stepped back. He's let the proper basketball guys do their thing. Leon Rose was a great hire. Great fucking hire. And I was a little skeptical. I'm like, damn, this guy used to be an agent, but he's wheeling and dealing. He's behind the scenes. CAA Mafia, we already know what it is. We're going to talk about the OG contract. Everyone's saying, will OG resign? Of course OG is going to resign. Who's OG Anunoby's agent? Fucking Leon Rose's son, CAA Mafia. That deal was done as soon as that trade went in. You know what I'm saying? There's no way OG's walking out that door. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? And that's legally, that's called tampering, but it's back channel, backdoor shit that goes on all the time. Is how well you cover it up. But what I want to get into, before we get into the future of the Knicks, I clipped up a couple of things this week. I want to talk about, because we're talking about the spirit of the Knicks being hardcore and all that thing. And if you thought we're just imagining this as people, JB and them think the same. Jalen Brunson and them think the same. I'm gonna play this clip from JB. I want to come back and briefly talk about it. Let's hear this out.
I think Tibbs has the same mindset we do as a team.
My bad, wrong clip.
In high school, I think we were definitely resilient. In college, obviously, we were resilient in doing the things that we did. And this team is special in a way that I can't really explain. The way we just fought, the way we just didn't use excuses, and we just kept finding ways and to the best of our abilities, and that was just our mindset. And I just love the fact that we have that mindset.
He told you that's the mindset we have. We ain't quitting. We ain't going down. We ain't punking out. And it starts from the top all the way down to the bottom. Pause. Tibbs, you know what I'm saying? Any reaction to that?
I think that's the type of reaction that I want to hear. And it only just shows, and it speaks volumes when you see them on the court. Like, We've seen the Roomies, that podcast that him and Josh Hart have.
Great podcast.
Yo, like you can see it. I think Josh Hart even said it. He hates coming off the court. Like, I'm pretty sure, like any professional athlete, if you're exhausted and don't feel like playing 3 consecutive games, 48 minutes, I think you're gonna raise your hand and be like, yo, think about my future, think this. Nah, man, fuck that. I gotta do what my team gotta do. I gotta do this. Shit, if I'm not really hurting right now, man, you gotta just push through it, especially when you depleted as they were. They were just trying to come up with anything, to try to make it to that next level and that next stage. And that's the type of team that people hate facing. Like, let's be honest. Like, if any Pacer fan or Sixer fan didn't say that they were scared of the Knicks, or any fan in the Eastern Conference, you guys are bugging. Because if the Knicks would have been 100% healthy, and I'm not blaming, I don't blame anything on anything, because we still could almost beat the Pacers in that. Yeah. But that mindset just goes to show how hard these guys work.
Yes.
And that shows through how they played in high school, like he said, how they played in college, and how Thibodeau likes to see his guys play and how hard they want to work, because nothing should ever be given to you. Nothing's ever handed. There's been plenty of championships that we can say, it's a little bit fishy. That was like might have been handed to that guy. Like the Lakers in the bubble. Like that was a weird one. Man. Like, when the Knicks ever get to anywhere they need to be, nobody can ever say they didn't deserve it or worked hard enough for it. And they can't. And that's why they play the way that they play.
Facts. My bad. Fully manned, we beat the Pacers. It's not even a question. We should have honestly, even decimated and beat down by the injury gods, we should have won that series. And I'm going to tell you why, right? We go up 2-0. Game 3, the Nemhart, holy Jesus prayer. You know what I'm saying? We had that game in our hands. It was from half court. He don't hit shots like that. Time running down. That was close your eyes and pray to God, and he got it in. You know what I'm saying? We win that game 3-0. Even though OG gets hurt, I feel we could pull. Then we had the game we blew him out. We should have. Was that game 6, right? No, game 5.
No, it was game 5 where we blew them out, because we got blown out game 4.
Game 3, 4, yeah. Game 5 we blew it out. Series is over. We should have won that series. OG getting hurt. Again, like I said, we were decimated with injuries. But one thing I took from that, I always try to. They say, I have a saying. I shouldn't even say they. I have a saying. Celebrate the wins, analyze the losses. Right. That's something I come up with. Right. One of the things I took from that series is the Pacers ran us off the court, and they were very strategic. Rick Carlisle is a phenomenal coach. He's a championship coach. He pressed us all fucking series, picked us up 94 feet. And even though Brunson and them was getting the ball off the court, they were soft trapping him as soon as he got over the half court line. That wears you down. Slowly but surely, that fucking wears you down. Then on top of that, Pacers run and gun with the fucking best of them. You know what I'm saying? They run and gun constantly. It was so crazy that the Knicks would score, and they would take the ball out and get down court before the camera sometimes even had a chance to pan at the other end and get like a full shot. They just constantly run. Now, the Knicks were hanging with them for a little bit. Remember the first couple games, we were like, damn, Knicks are kind of running with them. And Knicks aren't a bad fast break team, but I think the bread and butter is grind it out, especially when Julius is in the game. Grind it out, half court, ground and pound, slow the game down. And especially with our injuries and us logging all these crazy minutes, our legs just gave out. You know what I'm saying? And the Knicks, statistically, I saw this today. Somebody said this, or I read this. Statistically, pace-wise, we were dead last in the league, going up against one of the top people in the league. So stylistically, it wasn't good to begin with, but I think we could have slowed it down. But I just think that, like, again, with the injuries, the logging of the minutes, it's just a tall task, man. And we're gonna get into who we think the Knicks should go after. You guys can see the lower third and the bottom. Are the Knicks gonna go big game hunting? From what Sham says, they are. You know what I'm saying? But I want to, before we get into that, there's been a lot. Ted's been getting a lot of shit lately, right? And we've talked about this countless times. But back up, I think we have to address it again. I'm in between. I think his reputation precedes him. In Chicago, in Minnesota, he kind of ran Jimmy Butler to the ground a little bit. They say he ran Derrick Rose into the ground a little bit. I understand that's his style. Do you think now we know they're freak injuries. We understand the shoulder injury is not a fatigue injury. Maybe the Josh Hart injury might be a fatigue injury. We understand the Jalen Brunson injury. The foot injury could be possibly fatigue because you can develop stress fractures from constant fatigue. You know what I'm saying? That's just the fact, overcompensating, so on and so forth on different parts of your body. The OG, he's prone to get hurt. Now, do we run a guy into the ground who's prone to get hurt? OG doesn't play a lot of games. If you look up his last 4 years in the league, he's missed 25% or better, I think, of his games. You know what I'm saying? So OG is prone to get hurt. Mitch is prone to get hurt. But knowing that about this team, do you think Tibbs could have done something differently? Do you blame Tibbs at all? Or do you think, maybe not blame is a strong word, do you think he could have maybe met in the middle somewhere, shortened up the minute? I don't know. What do you think of all of that? I know we talked about it before, but lately everyone's been blaming Tibbs. I'm kind of on the fence about that.
I think I wouldn't put any blame on him, but I do think there was maybe a handful of occasions where he should have made a substitution,
right?
Or he could have, But then again, he also got to see what was going to work for him. Like now we know Miles McBride's going to log more minutes next season. Now we know OG's going to be OG. Like if we didn't have those injuries this year, Miles McBride was just averaging 10 minutes a game. In my opinion, if we're a healthy team and Miles McBride's doing 10 minutes, I don't think Miles McBride finishes the season as strong as he did. In my opinion,
I agree. A little bit.
It was like a gift and a curse, but I do think there were some occasions where he could have switched it up a little bit, and it's just we were fighting for that second seed because we knew home court advantage was going to be a key part, and actually it backfired against us in the Pacers. Like we should have won, we won game 5, but we should have definitely won game 7, and we didn't get the game 3 away. But like you said earlier, to be honest, I think the key thing that needs to happen is they need to look at these videos and this playback of in these big moments. And I don't think the lights was too big for them, but I do kind of think the lights were at some point when you have fatigue and you're playing and I don't think everything was really processing to me because at least to them, because they were making huge astronomical errors.
I think they just ran out of gas, though. I think they just ran out of gas, brother.
Yeah, but sometimes when you make those decisions, then like we should know who should
mental
be inbounding
fatigue
the
as
ball.
well.
Yeah, so that at that point we need to know who's gonna always inbound the ball if you're the better inbound bowler. Like I think communication, maybe they're just too tough and they don't even want to say they're tired, but they can't if they're gonna be able to if they're gonna say that they want to play all those minutes, then you can't make those mistakes when you're playing all those minutes because those mistakes lose games. They change the course of the whole fan base, whoever's in that stadium. Action activity will change in 2 seconds just off of an 8-minute play. 8-second play, and then the next thing you know, 2 fast breaks, and then a 3, and then a block, and then a turnover, and next thing you know, the game is just one-sided all over again. But like I said, I don't fully put on. I think he had to deal with what he had to deal with, and to be honest, I don't think there was much else he could have done. Maybe he could have played Burks a little bit sooner. There's a lot of what ifs and couldas, but who knows? Like, what if Burks comes in game 3 and maybe we still lose the game, but he still scores 15 points. Like you don't really know, but it's just something to everybody think about.
I don't disagree with that. In the playoffs, I
don't put no play. But personally, I don't put no. I don't like Kohar to blame on.
I don't put. No, we're not blaming. We're just asking questions because it's our duty. We're meeting now. You know what I'm saying? We're meeting now. It's our duty to ask questions and push back. I don't blame Tibbs at all. I will say this: his reputation does precede him, and is it a coincidence that just has to happen here again? I don't know. But as far as the playoffs are concerned, Tibbs did a masterful job in terms of his rotation and working with what he got. And we had like a 6-man rotation. I get it. Let's put that aside. Let's put that over here. Let's put that in that little box right there. Put that box right there. Now let's open up this season box, right? Well, you know what? Wait, before we get to that, let me just say one thing. Tibbs, let's play this. This is Jalen Brunson, and I don't mean to be all over the place, but this is Jalen Brunson on Tibbs evolving as a coach. Then I want to see what you think.
I think Tibbs has the same mindset we do as a team. Tibbs is the reason why we have that mindset. Tibbs is the reason why we, night in and night out, we fight to the best of our abilities. And even though things may not be in our favor result-wise, he makes sure that we have that mindset night in and night out. And so I think he's evolved by just not – I mean, he sees everything that everyone says. So, but I think when it comes to us, we don't really care what the people on the outside think of us. We don't care what people say, positive or negative. We go forward with what we believe is the best course of action inside this building, inside the organization. And so I think the way that he has evolved is that his players in that locker room have his back no matter what.
Now, Jalen, Josh, Julius, those guys will run, all those Tibbs guys, because they're all Tibbs guys, they'll run through a wall. Ask them if he plays them too many minutes, they're going to tell you no. I think there were certain instances, and I think attrition does catch up with you, in my opinion. I don't want to blame him, but I want to say that it does catch up with you when your body and your use. I think if I believe the Knicks had one of the highest usage rates in the league, you know what I'm saying? I do believe when you are constantly grinding it out and logging minutes on your body, I think fatigue can set in. I mean, injury can set in. How much to blame? I don't say a lot, but I do think it's something to keep your eye on. You know what I'm saying? What I do think, let me ask you something. If you had the advice, if you say, look, Tibbs is great at one thing, right? As a coach, what would the first thing pop in your head would be? What is his forte?
I think developing players.
Absolutely, developing players. That's one, and then two would be probably defense, right? That's his thing, right? Definitely develop because Julius wasn't an All NBA player before he got here. Look at Josh Hart, DiVincenzo. Absolutely great point. Definitely develops players 100%. Let's take a shot for that for Tibbs on that one. Shot for Tibbs developing players. You know what I'm saying? What I do think the Knicks need to work on, I said you said he's a defensive mind as well. One of the better defensive minds in the league. I thought we took care of this last year. What did we talk about in the Miami series last year? The Miami spacing and the three-pointers, they were shooting wide open three-pointers, right? And I'm looking at them this year. In the text thread, we kept saying, yo, they got to get better defending that perimeter, right? Got to work on that three-point defending that three-point shot, because threes versus twos, threes always going to win, right? You can't beat two three-pointers with two-pointers, right? Yeah. And in this pace of series, it was evident. They forget about they shot a record high field goal percentage or whatever. Throw that out the window for a minute. What I did notice is the Knicks playing help defense, right? And part of that reason is because Mitch was down. They didn't have a really good, Mitch, as injury prone as he is a rim defender, and he erases a lot of mistakes, right? And he allows you to stay at home with the shooters at times, because if you get burnt, he's waiting at the rim to alter your shot or block your shot. So with him being out, a lot of help defense has to be played, a lot of what they call cheating, right? So when a driver drives down the lane, you got help defense, the defenses collapses on that guy, right? And they're already in the paint. You kick out. Now you're already cheating off your man a little bit. Defend offensive guy drives, kicks out to the corner or the elbow, whatever. Open three, they gotta work on that a little bit. And I think that goes with, I think they need to get a little bit bigger. I don't know what they're gonna do with Mitch. We're gonna get into that real quick. Or we don't know what the Hartenstein Mitch thing is. Everyone seems to think they're gonna have Hartenstein, but I think in terms of defending that 3-point line, that 3-point perimeter, I think they got to get better. What do you say to that?
Oh yeah. No, I agree, but one of the biggest things is why it wasn't that bad the first 3 games when OG was there. We really got shown off.
Sixers
And
were getting good
exposed.
looks too, though. Sixers were getting really good looks.
Yeah, but it was nowhere near as many as like the Heat series. You know, like when OG fully went down. You know, I look at the stats of what the Pacers were doing game 4, 5, 6, and 7. Look how much their 3-point shooting just alone improved. Look at how much Halliburton was getting wickedly open and just shooting some outlandish shit. You know, even when he had a little defender on him, but like he was just way too open. Now, what was gonna happen if OG's in game 4, 5, 6, and 7, man? You know, like he's gonna be like, Tibbs gonna make. You know, I would think with all the adjustments that we talk so highly about Tibbs, I think Tibbs make the adjustment, say you got to just guard this nigga all the time, bro. At this point, you know, and we didn't have that, so we got exposed. You know, we only have one person who can affect defensively the game because we do have Mitch and we do have OG, but we didn't have neither to do with our game plan. You know, our game plan totally changed in game 4, totally changed. But I think we need help. You know, we do need an extra defender. We need it. Just can't be OG. We can't have OG trying to become the next defender to guard everybody because he might go down. We need somebody to always help out. We need at least 2-3 solid defenders on the court at all times.
I think Josh Hart is a solid defender. I think team defense, they're good. Weak side defense probably needs to get a little bit better. Let's get into this, man. What do the Knicks need to do? Like, you alluded to that a little bit just now. I think we're going to have to go out and get a backup for OG. Somebody that's maybe like a poor man's OG. You know, somebody who could play defense. You know what I'm saying? A 3 that could play defense. A big wing. We've been saying this the whole time. We need another big wing, right? That's been our thing, and probably like a big 2 guard who can score. But I think we have to do that, and I think if we resign Hartenstein and, you know, Mitch goes on the block because one of them's got to go, obviously, right? And, you know, it sounds like Mitch is going to go because of injury prone. I don't like his, you know, which I understand, but I don't love because I love Mitch, and I think Mitch is he's just a fucking when he's healthy, he's a monster, offensive rebounding wise,
game changing,
defensively, but he's just injury prone. And I think you saw in the Sixers series, and not as much in the Pacers series, you know what I mean? But in the Sixers series, when you got a guy like Embiid, Hartenstein is a little bit undersized. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to deviate too much. What do you think the Knicks need? And supposedly, you heard Sham say they're going big game hunting this offseason. They want a bona fide, not a 20-point scorer. They want a straight superstar. Excuse me. How do you get that superstar? Who do you have to give up? Who do you want to give up? Obviously, you have to make the money work. But in a perfect world, what do the Knicks look like to you next year?
Oh, man, this is a tough question because there's really not much out there that I would really take. But you know, there are some people that I don't think will be losing too much for, like a DeJounte Murray or maybe even like a Mikal Bridges. But then there's people that would benefit playing with the Knicks too. Like
Bridges, stop right there. Mikal Bridges, that's all I'm hearing these last couple of days, right? Obviously, you know he's Villanova. He's like the missing color in the Villanova rainbow. You know what I'm saying? I like Mikal Bridges as a player. To get Mikal Bridges, you're more than likely going to have to give. First of all, let's be honest. He's a really good player. I like him. Is he better than Julius? I don't think so. I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's better than Julius. Maybe the chemistry, you know, works a little bit better, but we never got to see a full year of the Julius OG Brunson iteration, right? We got to see it for what was like a 13 or 14 game span, and it looked great when they were over. Yo, everyone says that maybe Julius and Brunson can't coexist. I thought they coexist beautifully this year. You know what I'm saying? And they were rolling, bro. Like people are forgetting they were rolling when what was it, like 14-2 or some 15-2? I can't remember the exact number.
When before, because OG and what's his name almost got hurt around the same time. So right around when that happened,
right,
14-2.
Julius going down gave Brunson's star a chance to ascend even higher, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's not act like Julius ain't no, like everyone's saying Julius. Can Julius be, the second option? Honestly, I don't know who was the first option when Julius and Brunson were there. They both were, to me, they were 1A, 1B. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Brunson, like, so my thing is, do you give up because you'd have to? I don't see the Nets. First of all, I don't see the Nets trading Mikal Bridges to the Knicks because in this town, it's a Knicks town. It's all about stealing a back page. Why would Joe Tsai just hand over Mikal Bridges to us, right? The only way we could possibly get him is if we overcompensate, make him a deal like the Mafia that he possibly can't refuse. And that deal more than likely would include Julius Randle. Mm-hmm. I'm a Juju guy. I say run it back with Ju, man. Unless the only one I could get, and people hating on what I said, this me and you had a debate the other day. Only one I could say is if we could get a KD, I might consider that. But the people who are on the market right now, I don't know if I want to give Julius up, bro. Real talk.
Yeah, I'm not giving up Julius.
25-10. What do we say? 25-10. What?
Yeah, that don't come around more. That don't grow on trees.
All NBA, bro. Most improved player, 3-time All-Star already. Let's stop acting. Let's stop fronting on Julius, bro.
Before he got hurt, he was one of the top 3 power forwards in the league.
Let's be honest. We wouldn't want to trade him for Cat. Now everyone loves Cat because Cat's getting busy and against Denver and all that shit. You know what I mean? But let's not forget about Julius.
I'm not losing Julius unless it is a KD and also a KD that can give us 2 years without getting hurt. And I know he's going to be consistent whenever he's on the court, but as long as he doesn't get hurt, I'll do it. I'll just have to chalk that one as much as it's going to fucking hurt me, but I'm not giving up Julius to get Spider. I'm not giving up Julius, and when you think about other big guys, we're not going to get Embiid, I don't think. We're not going to be able to get Giannis.
Hold up. I don't mean to cut you off. I cut you off twice. I got to play this clip. You said a buzzword. Ready? This is the possibility of getting Giannis.
Stars big moments. Now, if they grab whoever the big fish is in this offseason and they've got more firepower offensively, does Tibbs have the ability to adapt? I believe so in this era.
He's to your point, All-Star may not necessarily want to come here if he's going to play that many minutes.
Thank you. And
that is the challenge.
By the way, coming off Minnesota.
My bad, wrong clip. I'm tripping out today. I'm drunk sports, ladies and
gentlemen. Drunk sports.
When a star player says, I want to get out of my situation, and they're going to go and say, I want to play for the Lakers, I want to play for the Clippers, I want to play for the Heat. Do I want to play for the Knicks? I do think it's a consideration as they're looking to get that giant fish. That's what they're looking. They're not looking to add another 20-point score. They want to wait for the big giant fish. You can come up with the names. I'm not going to have them attached to me. Will that
I'll have them attached to you.
Will that
some names.
Will that player think that Tibbs is an asset?
I'll just say some names, okay? I'm just going to say some names. Can we get it? Okay, I'll say a name, and if you say nothing, I'll assume that
I already know one.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
This is what they teach you at Northwestern.
Exactly right.
The whole league is watching, obviously, what happens with Giannis, and certainly the Knicks are one of them. And the question is, whether it's Giannis or another player like him, is Tibbs a plus or a minus? If Giannis called up Jalen Brunson and asked what it was like to play for Tibbs, Jalen Brunson would give the biggest glowing answer you'd ever hear.
Sure would.
But it really, that's the one thing. To me, the Knicks are going to be Tibbs. The question is, for the Knicks to be still playing into June, is Tibbs an asset or a detriment when it comes to bringing a star? That's an open question.
Look, the complicated thing about this to me is that we live in a world, and Monica, you say this a lot, and I like when you say this, is sometimes both things are true, or all things are true. We don't live in that world. We live in a world where everything's got to be either.
So that's a very interesting point. Would Giannis want to come to New York, right? Knowing Tibbs is going to, I don't want to say run him into the ground, but playing very high minutes. That's a legitimate question. Are free agents looking around the league and going, I would love to come to New York. I would love to play with Brunson. I would love to play with Hart and OG and all these guys. But man, I don't know if I could play, 40 minutes, 39 minutes a game, 30, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? That's a question. But to get someone like Giannis, yeah, then you give up Julius. But other than Giannis, KD, I don't give up Julius Randle, brother. I definitely not for Mikal Bridges. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I 100% agree. Like there's a couple people we spoke about. Like DeMar Rosen's out there, like Paul George. Like
I like that.
I'm not giving up Julius Randle for Paul George neither.
What's PG contract? PG got. Let me see PG contract. Keep going. I'm gonna look at PG contract.
No, yeah, he's a free agent. He's a free agent in 2025 as well. I think it's PG. It's Paul George, Donovan Mitchell. It's Mikal Bridges. Antetokounmpo was up there, but he's a free agent in 2026.
But he's not happy over there. Or
yeah,
it doesn't seem like he is.
Yeah, and then Joel Embiid, who also doesn't seem happy over there neither. But
I'm trying to get somebody with Julius. That's what I'm trying to get, a PG or a DeRozan. I like DeRozan a lot for the Knicks.
Yeah.
I think he fits well with him.
If we could get a PG and keep Julius, oh God, that'll be fucking
okay. DeRozan got. PG has a player option this year. He's a UFA 25, 26. He's gonna make $48 million this year. So if he opts in, which he probably will, or actually depends, they could do like a sign and trade and he get extended. But $48 million, how does Paul George fit with that salary? You'd have to give up, let's say, shit. See, this is the problem. See, like Julius is making what? Let me see what Julius got. Julius is making 30 this year.
I think Julius is making like
32. 32. So.
Well, isn't Bogdan's contract?
Yeah, you'd have to do like a Julius. But see, I'm not doing Julius for PG. So you can forget that. Like you'd have to do like maybe a Mitchell Rock. What's Mitchell's contract? You'd have to do like a Mitchell Rock. Mitchell's making 12. What's Bogdan making?
Bogdan I think makes like 16 or 18 if I'm not mistaken.
So maybe that will work. Like a Bogdan and a Mitchell for
like
PG, but
yeah.
Well,
think about it because that's not bad because we need DiVincenzo to come off the bench.
He's a two-way player. Yeah,
and we need Dante to come off the bench. So like losing Bogdan, we just get somebody we can depend on even more.
I think Bogdan was a trade chip from the beginning. I think he was twofold. I think he was brought here to give us some offense this year and strengthen that bench up since Quickly and Barrett were gone. And I think that he was also, was such a smart guy, looked at as a nice expiring contract, kind of like Evan Fournier.
Mm-hmm.
Also, his expiring contract, and he's a guy who can give you 20 points a game. He was a trade chip. I think Leon Rose is a genius. But do you waste it on PG? Yeah, maybe. If you could bring in PG with Julius, I like that. I like that a lot. Or DeRozan. Yeah. I got to see what's DeRozan shit looking like. I don't even know if DeRozan's on the block, but I know we kind of talked about him a little bit at the trade deadline last year. DeRozan's making 28.
Yeah.
So that
DeRozan's what? DeRozan's like, I think him and PG like the same age, right? They're like 35, 34.
Oh, actually, DeRozan's DeRozan's a UFA, actually. Oh, DeRozan's a UFA. We might be able to bring him in.
But I think DeRozan he's unrestricted free agent. That's
he's
right?
a UFA. He's a UFA.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to look up our cap situation, but that'd be interesting. We bring DeRozan in, give him he's 35 years old.
So is PG. So it's like we'll be in the boat.
PG's 35. Wait, PG's 35. Let's see what PG is.
Yeah, PG's 35.
PG is 34.
Oh,
34. Yeah, but see, okay, so I like DeRozan's mid-range game. I think he's a bucket. You know what I'm saying? PG is also a bucket, and PG is a two-way defender. If I had to go, I would love Paul George. I don't know. We'll see, man. But if we're like,
and Paul George got more height too. I think Paul George is like 6'8", right? I think DeRozan's 6'6".
How many games did he play this year? Do you remember? Do you know?
He played a decent amount of games. I think he
Yeah.
played. Yeah, he played. He's been playing the past couple of years. He's been playing a decent amount of games, man. As soon as I think he missed most of his games when he was with Oklahoma.
With the crazy did he get that injury with Oklahoma with the Pacers? Yeah, that fucked up.
No,
injury.
was it the Pacers? I think it was the Pacers.
How many games did Paul George play this past year? Paul George played 74 games. That's really fucking good.
I'll take that, man. You missed 8 games.
Yeah. Well, that's really fucking good, actually. That's very, very, very good. I would man, if we can make that happen. So if you could do that and keep Julius, that's how you got to do it. Strengthen up that bench a little bit. Maybe I don't know if we have a mid-level exception or a veterans minimum. Trying to get like a big 3 to back up OG, and try to get some big bodies in here, maybe to try to emulate what Mitch does a little bit. I don't know, man, but everyone's walking around here like let's trade Julius. Julius is on a block, and not for nothing. Shams did say there's a lot of teams are going to be interested in Julius Randle this year. You know what I'm saying? But dude, 25-10, all-star, perennial all-star now, all NBA guy. Julius is strong, gives you rebounding, gives you strength on a block. His three-point shooting has improved. He wants to be a Knick. I'm emotionally attached to him as a Knick because we love our guys. To me, it'd be hard to give a Julius Randle.
If there's a way that we can keep this whole team and somehow we can bring in Mr. Miyagi and work on Mitchell Robinson's injuries and shit. You know what I mean? We need Mr. Miyagi to do some fucking wonders on Mitchell Robinson, man. He's too injury prone.
Or do we bring Julius back and don't get a free agent and run it back and see what we got? Because we never, like I said, we never got to see this team, the full version of what this team could be after the OG trade for Quickly and Barrett. Do we just bring it back and say, yo, let's see what's good with that? Because Leon Rose is a patient dude. I think all year we've been saying Spider. I think the Spider train might be. I left the track now, man. I don't know if the Spider thing's gonna happen, man. I think because I don't think. I'm kind of leaning the other way on it now, and I think there's going to be you hear Lakers are going to be in play. You hear there's going to be a couple other teams in play. I don't know with the emergence of Brunson if you get a Spider, man, undersized. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and I think another thing too is just like you said, we never ran it back. Right. So if we do it this year, and I think this is another thing that people have to think about too. This is always what's behind door number 9.
Yeah.
Yo, just running back and see how the team is doing before free agency. I mean, before you, because think about it, they're not going to lose, Donovan Mitchell for nothing either. So he's going to get traded probably before the deadline. So I think that would probably be
this summer. Yeah.
If we wanted to really test it and run it back, because like I said, I don't want to break up this team for nothing because it's pointless. Because that's why I was scared because, I think we're going to just revert back to going back to the old stupid trades that the Knicks used to do to get all these guys and big names. And then next thing you know, chemistry wasn't that great. But if we wanted to just bring it back and run it back, like KG said, and hopefully everything goes our way, now I think we're going to and just build on our bench, maybe bring in some, maybe 1-2 key player guys. Doesn't have to be no superstar power. I wouldn't mind that. And then hopefully Tibbs can see that he could just, play a 9 to 10 man rotation, throughout the season. And then when the playoffs come, because we're going back into the playoffs, I believe that our guys should be much healthier.
And this ain't. Listen, I'm no capologist. I'm sauced up, so I'm not really crunching numbers right now. But in my perfect world, I would love Debo coming off the bench, and I would love another big 2 in there, man. I think we just need a bigger 2, a 6'6" guy, 6'5", 6'6" guy, strong mid-range game, and if we could keep Julius, to me, that's what it is, man. That's and I don't know if that's there's a lot of there's a lot of things to consider. There's Brunson's up for extension. Hart, you know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of Hart, not now, but next year. There's a bunch of different guys they can extend. So this team is about to get really expensive really fast. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
and they're also really
how
young.
Leon Rose mixes and matches and does things. What I do know is they do have draft capital and they do have some good pieces. And I know they want a big time guy in here. You know what I'm saying? And in the past, like you just kind of alluded to that. You just said that actually. You know, you don't want it to go back to the old Knicks where they just get the big name and he's kind of at the end of his career and he gets hurt and then we're locked down with the salary cap. I don't think Leon Rose rolls like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about that. You know what I mean? At all. Like I know Leon Rose. Look at the patience he displayed with the Donovan trade. You know what I mean? And turned out to be brilliant. They were killing him at first, but you know, if that's any indication of his foresight, then that's amazing. So I'm not worried about that. I think he'll bring in the right guy, but I definitely know we need another scorer. Whether that's, you know, Julius definitely a scorer, and I think we even need, I think not a big three because NBA the era, the days of the big three is over. There's no more big threes with the second aprons and the way they made it difficulty going into the luxury tax and all the mathematical shit, the money shit. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that if we can get a guy like DeRozan somehow, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's even is DeRozan, Brunson, and Julius a big three? Kind of. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I think realistically, to me, a DeRozan or Paul George is what we need. Then you'd have Devo coming off the bench. You know, you got a seasoned, you know, somewhat seasoned McBride because you know he made big strides this year. You have you'd have to get another three, I think, right, to replace to back up, to replace Bogdan, because Bogdan's like a combo guard, right? Combo / wing / guard. Yeah. You'd have to kind of get another big body in here because we don't really trust Jericho Sims. You probably have Alec Burke already. He's a combo guard. So at the guard position, you're probably good in terms of backup. Who am I missing off the bench? If you bring in DeRozan and you have, you know, Julius is back again, you bring Hart off the bench. So then you'd have Hart, DiVincenzo, Burke, so maybe, hopefully a mid-level exception guy that could back up McBride, a mid-level exception guy that could back up OG. You know, we don't know who's available out there.
Oh, Precious Achiuwa.
So your bench is fortified now. Yo, I like that, bro. I like that a lot. Real talk.
I agree.
I think that's the way to go. Bring in a guy like DeRozan or PG.
Yeah, because then at that point too.
Julius.
Yeah, but we have to keep Julius because then Precious could come in the game instead of him backing up the center. He's gonna be backing up either the small forward or back up the power forward position. He's too small to play center. He does the best
at times in spots. If they go small, if you go small ball, he can do it.
Yeah. If they're small ball, then it's good for him. You know, especially because they even do like some good traps for him too. Like I love how like him and Precious were playing a lot of like double teaming, and they was just bottling up a lot of these guys when they were going into the paint.
No doubt. Shout out to Precious Achiuwa. I don't know, but you said something about KG. Let's run that clip real quick, KG. And I'm all over the place because I'm fucking drunk today. Let's go. If you're in your cubicle right now, let me pull it. If you're in your cubicle right now, take a shot with your boys Drunk Sports Talk. If you're on the dock loading up a truck, sneak away to the bathroom and pour yourself a little shot. I know you got a flask with you. Pour yourself a little shot, but don't get on the forklift for at least about 45 minutes after you take that shot, you know?
Yeah, don't be like me when I used to work in the warehouse. I won't name the company. But...
Nah, I'm joking. Don't drink it down on the forklift. But if you're in the crib, roll some up, drink some up. We just talking shit. You know what I'm saying? We're no professional sportscasters. We are just rabid New York fans and who like to drink and talk shit. And we thank y'all for listening to us. But I want to play this KG clip real quick.
Let's see.
Do you believe that the New York Knicks need a number one option to go along with Brunson in order to come out of the East next year?
What is Randle? Man, Julius Randle is a 25-10 guy in this
I love
league.
Randle, but he ain't a number one option, though. I love Randle. He ain't a number one option, KG.
You tripping.
I'm not tripping.
And he grew his game. Listen, man, and he grew his game with the 3-ball. Man, y'all tripping on Julius Randle. Julius Randle's one of the harder guards in this mud. And he left-handed. He got a 3-ball. He can play make. Man, I mean, he ain't perfect.
Right.
But man, yeah, with this team, because you know what happens when you bring in a superstar, you bring somebody else. You got that superstar. You gotta intertwine him in with the fabric of what the Knicks are. The Knicks are gritty and they gruddy. They play for 40 inch to hear they tears.
Thought about this.
How the Knicks are, man. The Knicks are perfect. The Knicks should not be touched. Let's go. Let's run this. Let's run this 2 years with this team and then talk about that superstar later.
Yo, I agree with that. We just talked the whole 20 minutes about that, but I agree with that. And I don't always agree with what KG says. But if anyone knows, it's KG. KG, one of the premier power forwards ever to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Gritty, grimy,
crazy,
hard, defense, offense. KG, one of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? And he's right. Julius is one of the harder guards in the fucking league. He's left-handed, right? Left-handers are tricky. Even when you play pickup ball, the lefty nigga always getting his shit off.
Yo, because it's hard to defend lefties.
Because you're so used to, you favor your righties favor that side. But yeah, I agree with KG. You heard Stephen A. Smith. He's not a number one option. He's not a number one option. KG, and then KG just broke him down. And Julius was like, and then Stephen A. was like, true. Stephen A., you're the worst. You are a clown, homie. You know what I mean? You'll say anything. You don't know shit about basketball.
Like I said, there's key scenarios that I would like to see, and to be honest, 95% of them all involve Randle coming back to the team. I don't think that ever crossed my mind. There was only one person that I was gonna end up seeing get traded, or just as either Hartenstein leaving. I think that's gonna be our biggest change. I think either Hartenstein's
gonna be competition to sign him too. His stock is high. His stock is high.
No, and I agree. And then because I even foresee him leaving, and then us just keeping Mitch. But or if we trade Mitch, then we're gonna have to sign him. But then again, are we gonna? I don't want to overpay for him neither, because and then if we do, we gotta have somebody coming off the bench. We can't have Precious Achiuwa coming off the bench all the time to back up Hartenstein. But then again, we had to do that because we didn't have no Randle. So like
two on the sides with that, man. I think you're right, Precious. Because I was thinking, who would back up Julius? But yeah, you could put Precious at the 4 theoretically. He's not as offensively as gifted as Julius. Is he's probably on the same level as Obi. I like that. We have a lot of we're gonna see what goes on. I'm very intrigued to see what happens this year. You know what I'm saying? This summer,
interesting.
We also, I think we have the 25th and the 20s. I don't know. We got some picks in the first round, lower first round.
Yeah. I think we got 25th and 26th. I think
25th and 26th. Do we take the 25th, 26th pick and throw in a Bogdan and I don't know whatever, and maybe move up a little bit in the draft and maybe fulfill some of the spot, the needs we have within the draft. Now they say this is a soft draft, so they say this is not a great draft. So I don't know, but I don't want the big fish in terms of like just to splash and get a name. But I do know we need scoring, and I think we need scoring from the 2 spot, and we need to figure out a backup and who's going to be our starter in the 5 spot. And as much, and I'm going to say this one more time, as much as I love Hartenstein and as much as I love Mitch, it's pros and cons for each of them. You know what I'm saying? It's being undersized, and it's also being injury prone. So I don't know.
Yeah, because I think we have a great bench, and we had a great bench, but a lot of people forget with all the injuries, half of our bench ended up becoming starters.
Yeah. Isn't that ironic? We had one of the most deepest rotations in the league this year, and then we were the most fucking futile, depleted team come playoff time. Right now, if this happens again next year, I don't think there'll be another team in the next 20 years that'll ever be as decimated with injuries as the Knicks. I've never seen no shit like this in my life. But if we start getting run down next year, you got to start asking the question, why? You know what I mean? You got to start asking the question why. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but shout out to Tibbs. Love Tibbs. Love all these guys. Love New York. We spend a shitload of time on the Knicks. Again, we are no experts. We are just some fans who like to talk shit. Please hit like and subscribe. Please show some love. I think we're going to come back. Our next episode, we're going to talk a little bit of Gonna talk a little bit of pigskin. You know, man, we might talk a little bit of NBA Eastern and Western Conference Finals. I know the Celtics are playing right now. I can't even bring myself to watch these bum ass niggas, the Celtics and the Cavs. I hate both of them. You know, when you root for a team, you'd be like, yo, see, like inside, you'd be like, yo, I kind of want this one to win a little bit, even though you're not fans of them. I don't look at them at all and say that. I'm like, I hope they. I wish there was a way where God can make them both lose.
Yeah. At this point, I'm really rooting for like the Western Conference because I'm torn because I don't even care if it's either Kyrie. Because I'm a huge Kyrie fan.
Yeah, me too.
And Luka's Luka.
Yeah, I fuck with Luka too. Luka's a dog.
And Anthony Edwards is playing out of his fucking mind right now, bro. Like,
and Mike Conley and Nas Reed and Gobert and Cat, them dudes is balling too, man.
Yeah, they balling right now, man. They all got healthy at the same time, and that's the exact opposite that didn't happen with the Knicks. You know,
I think we're gonna come talk about some. We're gonna talk some. We're gonna jump on a fucking Amtrak or plane and go out in New York for a little while and talk some NBA conference final shit next week, and we'll talk a little bit about Jets and Giants OTAs. Even though the OTAs are, I don't want to say bullshit, but they're just like, you know, like me and you running around the park playing two-hand touch. You know what I mean? There's not too much you can. Everybody looks fly in OTAs. You're making crazy catches. There's no pads. There's no real contact. There's 7-on-7 and 11-on-11s, but it's nothing crazy. I think you start to get a better feel for the new guys you brought in and the free agents and how everyone's looking when they in the mini camp when they put on their pads. So we'll see.
Then you got the Giants and the Hard Knocks. You know, there's a couple. We're gonna have some. We're gonna have some topics that are gonna start. The preseason is almost here in August. You know, we're ready. About to be June.
We'll tap in. We'll tap back into the Knicks when they make a move. Probably our last show on the Knicks until they make a move. I don't want to be one of these shows that just come up with gossip and bullshit every day on the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk a little football, and if anything comes up with the Knicks, you know we're there to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It's been another episode of Drunk Sports Talk. I'm actually drunk today. Salud.